Hello and welcome to Surviving the UK Government podcast. I'm with Naringa, and what we're going to do is in this episode, we're going to show you some videos that we should have showed you in the other episode, previous episode. So we're going to get straight to it. When we were describing about the harassment, it wasn't only tenants, unfortunately, that the harassment was coming from. This is actually, even though there was a sign on the door that said
Making everyone aware about autistic child.
yeah, and it said don't slam car doors or make loud noises near this property. There's an autistic child, basically, in it.
Yeah.
This is what a teacher from what was the school called?
I'm guessing the way it's Saint Silas.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce.
So a teacher allegedly from Saint Silas. This is what she was doing outside a autistic child's home. Allegedly, she was a teacher. Allegedly. She pulls up. Was this before or after we made a complaint? Can you remember about this teacher that she done this again? Because she done it more than once.
She's done multiple times.
Did we make a complaint about it yet? No.
No. I'm not too sure how long ago.
She clearly knows about the sign, which is why she's wearing glasses. Decides to look into the camera, look at the window where the sign was allegedly. Trying to waste as much time allegedly, thinking that the camera's going to run out. Let's just skip because she's trying to waste time. There we go. Let's get action replay just in case you missed it. There you go. This is a teacher, by the way, allegedly. Imagine that. This is what happens when you have issues with your local council, allegedly. They can get to you however they want because, again, when it comes to schools, when you have problems with your school, who do you go to, Navinga?
Council, your local authority.
Right. So that's once. I think we went to the head teacher as well about it. And they decided to do nothing about it.
Then she ran to maternity leave.
Apparently she went on maternity. Oh yeah, look. This is when as well.
On the same day.
This is on the same day. Yeah. So the first time. This is roughly around the time when Navinga was making complaints to the council because the place was unsuitable. And one of the things that was unsuitable was the fact that there was a big hole in the wall of my son's bedroom. So instead of Liverpool Council doing the suitability review, they thought it was okay to allegedly not do one. Well, I don't need to say allegedly. They admitted they didn't do one. Yeah. Right? Apologize for it. A year later. But during that time, they decided to send street cleaners outside my autistic son's bedroom. Now you'd say, look, listen, calm down. They're not doing it on purpose. Yeah?
Yeah, doing their job.
Just doing their job. Oh, look. Would you look at that? It seems like this street cleaner, again, Liverpool Council, looks like he wanted to come back again. Doesn't look good, does it? Now, the reason why you can't hear the audio is even looking at the camera.
Was he? Let me check better. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the reason why you can't hear the audio, people, is because obviously you're not really supposed to be recording outside audio because it can invade people's privacy. But the video speaks for itself.
Yeah, to be very honest, like it was inside of the house anyway, so.
Yeah, but you could still hear it because of the air vents and the fact that there's holes in the window. You can fully hear that. So yeah, that's one of the videos. Another thing that they like to do, whether it was taxis, um, or look at this one. This is, by the way, people, what we keep trying to remind you is there's a sign that's saying don't slam car doors or make loud noises near the property, right? Come on, Google, don't start.
There you go. I think it's the same. Oh yeah, this is how close to the door they were as
Yeah,
well.
this is still happening now, actually, where people just pull up outside wherever you are now and slam the door. Bang. That's not enough. Pretend to get
And she
something.
did look at the window as well.
Yeah, yeah, with the sign on it. Yep. Oh, sorry, let's get that properly. There you go. And lives nowhere near. Nowhere near. So this is what was going on when Navinga was living with Plus Dane. Whether it was tenants or tenants' friends would literally just come and park outside the house nearly every other day and just slam the door
Actually, every day.
every day and slam the door not every day, every other hour of every day.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what used to go on. And then they got the nerve to say that she's been antisocial. There's another angle. This is the reason why, in my opinion, that Plus Dane wanted the cameras taken down, because too much footage was being captured of people just taking the mick.
And antisocial behavior.
Want more evidence? Okay, let's go forward. This guy's car is parked here.
What was
There's his friends that just had to come out. There you go. Slam the bin. Look at the camera.
Yeah. And she looked at the whole street, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like for
Now,
confirmation.
now again, you'd say, but okay, slamming the doors, what's the connection with the council? Well, when it comes to shops, for them to operate, where do they need their license from?
Takeaway shops, yeah.
Yeah, where do they
Council.
license from? The council. So during this whole time, you can now see how the council allegedly can use different services to harass you if you're an advocate or you stand up by yourself and then try to make it look like it's an accident. This clips I'm showing you was happening on a daily basis. We just don't have enough time in this episode to show you every clip. So we showed you the slamming doors. Here we go. The more tenants, allegedly plus name tenants. The funny thing about this thing is this guy doesn't even live on the street, but he's
Yeah.
bringing his bin opposite an autistic child's home.
Again, allegedly, I've seen them around the tenants of Plus Dane.
Yeah.
You could be one of them just living on a different street. Like housing associations, they own a lot of houses in the same areas.
And what's funny as well is Navinga actually asked Plus Dane to tell their tenants to stop doing this because it's causing disturbance to an autistic child, and it was ignored. So
Just yeah.
yes, I'm still there, Google. You don't need to keep asking me. So yeah, she kept asking, what's the word, Plus Dane, for reasonable adjustments. And from what I remember, they didn't do it. So you have to ask yourself, why was this done? Let's have a look.
Yeah.
There you go. Look at the walk as well, proud of himself. What I won't name names because this is not to, what's the word, cause harm to anyone. This is to raise awareness on how sad people can be, number one, how corrupt organizations can be. Just to raise awareness, so there's no point name calling.
And I'm pretty sure this is the same man that used to come with his wheelie bin to keep putting rubbish in
Yeah,
the bins.
yeah, he used to travel from different streets to come.
Yeah, even though there's other streets that got the same bins. Is there anyhow you can make it bigger?
Oh yeah, that was an alleged plus stain tenant staff, allegedly.
Allegedly, a contractor, one of the
One of the
contractors.
contractors. Oh, tough guy. Yeah. So this is the kind of harassment that we're talking about. I think there's one more here. Yeah, there we go. This is where I think it's Meg's mother-in-law, or
Yeah.
yeah. Imagine being a neighbor and knowing that there's an autistic child in a house, and you have your guests slam doors outside their house. How disgusting is that? What kind of mother does that make you? You have children, but you're doing that to other children.
And children and grandchildren, yes. Yeah. So
Yeah. So yeah. Let's just look at it again. This is the same. This is the mother of the guy who kicked the door in
yeah.
while he knew there was an autistic child in the house, and then didn't get arrested by the police, from what we know, and was given a suspended sentence, even though he pulled up to the house with a weapon.
For 12
Crazy.
months. Suspended sentence.
You notice how all these people wear glasses even during the day because they don't want to get recognized for the dirty stuff they're doing. That's why.
I think I confronted her
Yeah,
designer.
yeah, yeah, you did. But when you started shutting the windows on her because you had to keep closing the windows because they kept slamming the door, all of a sudden they didn't like it.
No.
Yeah, weird, isn't it? It's weird. This one. Oh no, we've seen this one. Okay. So that's the general basis of what Naringa had to go through when it came to the harassment. But videos make it much more better than what's the word? This one doesn't want to play. So
Just give me a minute, yeah.
when it came to what's this one now? I need to download these videos because Google finds it too disturbing to do the corruption of these videos.
And it's the fastest virgin internet as well.
Yeah. I thought I should have downloaded them. I thought Google might let me down.
I'm not too sure what was that. So many things going on. I'm not too sure what was going on here.
No, I remember.
Oh, it should play now. Let's see.
And thanks for saving me too. Yeah, thanks.
So this guy lives all the way down the other street, but for some reason he still has to come all the way here. Look, I downloaded it and played it, but Google can't. Yeah, crazy. Let's try downloading then Google, seeing as you don't want us to play it.
Scoops it up. Blocked by Tatum. Tatum, he'll put up a three.
Oh my goodness, yeah, this neighbor.
Yeah.
Butler and Brown.
And he used to do that every day and every night.
Yeah.
Inside Smart.
So I think you got the point of how many people just decided to do this every day, slamming doors outside the property of an autistic child. What I will say to all the, if they ever see this videos or this podcast, is you should be ashamed of yourself. This is against a child. You need help. You really need help. Seriously.
I think it's the woman slamming doors, yeah. And was it her, because of her, the little kid started harassing the house as well?
Yeah,
day.
after when she slammed the door, then magically school kids started harassing the house afterwards. So
kicking balls at the doors, at the windows, throwing stones.
yeah. So let's just talk about my place quickly as well before we start continuing with Naringa while she was homeless. So while I was in my property now, because I'm an advocate for Naringa as well, Liverpool Council didn't want to take action against disrepairs in my property. Now, I had a very difficult agency to deal with. They were lead properties. And yeah, you can see for yourself, there's a massive crack in the wall. This is my room that I'm in, massive crack in the wall. Yeah. You got mice infestation.
Well, it's rats.
Rats infestation.
Yeah, it looks like more like rats. No?
Yeah, that Liverpool Council didn't investigate properly, allegedly. And yeah, look at this. This is urine, by the way. This was urine leaking into the ceiling. I have to say allegedly because I'm not an expert, but it smelt of urine, I can tell you that. Leaking into my room. Now, you would think Liverpool Council would move me out of the property. Oh, no, 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 no. They left me in the property. And from what I know, all that they've done was repaint and seal the cracks. And if that's not a health hazard, I don't know what is.
Yeah, they don't seem ever done any repairs in a bathroom, did they?
No. Apparently, what one of the Liverpool Council staff decided to tell me was that when water mixes with white paint, that's why it makes a yellow color.
With white paint.
Yeah, I guess that's why it smells like urine as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was all during the time when the landlord was trying to get rid of me. Yeah.
Illegally.
By harassment. Yeah. I don't think you can see the urine stains there. You can see it a bit here.
Yeah. Maybe you can with the mouse zoom in, no?
There you go. Up to this day, still no compensation for what they done. Let's look at this one. There's another thing they like to do as well, is they like to try and waste as much camera time when they're doing the harassment, because they think for some reason that the footage is going to run out when they're filming. I don't know who told them this, but yeah. So let's move on to what happened with you after, what was it, Haydock?
Haydock.
Yeah. So after Haydock, where did you end up after Haydock? Oh yeah, you was homeless, wasn't you?
I was homeless for like a month and a half.
Yeah.
Because they refused to house me and provide any kind of suitable accommodation. And
yeah,
kept refusing to house me with an assistant dog and a cat.
Yeah, so basically Liverpool Council left a homeless with an autistic child, an assistant dog and a cat for a month.
Over a month.
Over a month. So you had to book Airbnbs.
I booked, yeah.
Is that what we're getting to now? No?
Yeah,
Airbnbs.
the Airbnbs and hotels.
Yeah, Airbnbs and hotels. So there's times when Naringa had to book Travelodge as well, isn't it? No?
Travelodge, yeah, that's what I said. It's hotel, isn't it?
So what was weird with Travelodge? Because I've been waiting to talk about this for a while now. So what was weird with Travelodge was everything was fine, and then the behavior by Travelodge towards us was just very, very bad. What started happening was every time she booked a hotel, she kept being put in rooms with disrepairs.
Yeah.
How many times would you say that you went into a room and it had some kind of disrepair issue?
Every room.
Yeah.
It probably was rare that it wouldn't have any disrepair.
Yeah. So would you say it was about more than 15 times?
The thing is, I think that because I booked for a longer periods of time, I wasn't like changing rooms too much because it wouldn't change the room for me.
Yeah, because they kept putting you in the same rooms, allegedly.
Yeah.
So, because apparently it was so booked or so unavailable, even though she was booking different travel lodges in different areas, all of them kept giving her disrepair rooms. It's almost like your name was blacklisted there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, some people would say, oh, but why would her name be blacklisted? You know, you're overreacting. Well, Travelodge or some hotels, let's say, let's not just put it on Travelodge, but some hotels have good business with the local councils because they house homeless people.
Yes.
So if someone who's got issues with the local council, like an activist or an advocate, right, the best thing to do is then to put them in rooms that are full of disrepair. Now, when you say disrepair, we're talking about windows with gaps in it.
Yeah, not sealed properly.
Being put near busy roads when the staff have been made aware that there's an autistic child.
And no hot water.
No hot water. Yes, that was an issue for some reason. Travelodge just couldn't seem to get hot water in the rooms that you're booking.
Yeah.
Or that I was booking.
Even ordering super quiet rooms was an issue because they were not quiet at all.
So even though she was paying for super quiet rooms, she was getting put in rooms near bin collection.
Or like next to the staff rooms.
Yeah, where the staff would then bang, allegedly bang as much equipment and stuff near the walls. So the fact again, and what on top of it that makes it crazy is Travelodge was you actually reported Travelodge to Trading Standards.
Yep.
Which again, if people don't know, Trading Standards is a department of your local council. Did Trading Standards take any action against the complaints? Of course not. You get what I mean?
No.
And what's crazy is these are complaints against an autistic child.
Yeah.
Right? So what was I saying that it was? What did I say the definition was? What they were doing? Was it it wasn't child abuse, what was it?
I think it can be counted as child abuse.
Yeah, it could be counted as allegedly child abuse, right? And Trading Standards of Liverpool Council ignored the complaint, right?
Yeah.
So this just goes to show you the level of corruption that goes on with some of these councils, right? First of all, you allow an autistic child to be homeless for a month without any reasonable support. Then, when a child is receiving harassment or behavior that's could cause issue to a child's welfare, the council's not interested. Do you get what I mean? So, but then you've got departments like home education then sending emails about, oh, hi, we want to make sure your son's getting a good education. Yeah, but we're telling you the situation about his homeless situation and you're not interested. All you're interested in is whether the homeschooling is still going on. I mean, do you want to have a word?
But by the way, they're supposed to contact me about Makaya every year. And they contact me only when I heavily start making complaints about the way they're treating, like council is treating me. That's when all of a sudden they remember me because even last time they were delayed for over a year to contact me to find out how is his education doing.
Yeah, so it's almost like when a complaint is made to children's services, that's when their retaliation comes with home education all of a sudden wanting to ask 6 million questions about Makai's home education. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So, you know, at the end of the day, it's not supposed to be like that. The council's meant to help people who are vulnerable. You're not supposed to abuse your power. Does that make sense? So, yeah, and this is inside Travelodge as well. So as you can see, this is like a, what do you call this? What is it called?
It's like an air vent.
Yeah, like an air vent. But the thing with this air vent was this air vent, this wouldn't close. So you could literally hear everything outside. Bear in mind, there's an autistic child in this room and the windows wasn't sealed. So when we used to keep going to Travelodge and letting them know that these rooms are not suitable. Oh, but you know, the rooms are really full, so we'll do what we can. And then sometimes they wouldn't even move you. And what made it even worse is you had an assistant dog, right? And they refused, allegedly, to clean up the dog feces in the bathroom. What they tried to tell us is that we should clean it up. That's not actually correct. They should be cleaning it up. They should be, because it's an assistant dog.
Yeah.
So you're putting us on the 9th floor and then telling us, oh yeah, but if you want your dog to go to the toilet, like you'd walk him down the stairs and down the lift and down the thing. No, you're supposed to clean it up. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they didn't want to do that. They're bringing mops up whenever they feel like it, delaying it sometimes. And we were like, yeah, like you're supposed to, that you could have even got them done for indirect discrimination.
Yeah, especially in emergencies. Like, what would you expect a disabled person to do?
Exactly.
Or blind person to do.
Yeah, so if someone's in a wheelchair and they've got an assistant dog and the dog ends up peeing or whatever, yeah, you're expecting the person in the wheelchair to clean up the mess. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So she went through Travelodge literally, and in my opinion, this is my opinion, they deliberately was what's the word? Making it so that it would be unbearable for her to do bookings there. That's allegedly, though. It's not a fact, it's allegedly. And
it was paying customers.
Yeah. Well. So it's not like she was, even if the council was paying for accommodation, yeah, it's still not good enough. You shouldn't treat people like that. People are human beings. Yeah. But the fact that she was paying this out of her own money and that's how they're treating her is disgusting. You get what I mean? And whether people know it or not, the hotels work with the council as well.
Of course they do. That's why they house emergency accommodation.
So they've got good business with the council. So now it made a lot of sense why the hotel was behaving how they was behaving, because they just wanted, I think the plan was to make it so unbearable for Naringa that she would just leave the country. I honestly think that's what the plan was, because there's no other reason why you would refuse to help. You would refuse to help someone with systemic lupus, an autistic child, an assistant dog, and a cat for a month, and just be like, yeah, figure it out.
Well, to be honest,
and you've got anxiety. Go on, sorry.
Well, they've done it last time where they left me with nothing for nearly 2 months again, but it was near the end when I was about to get the Plus Dane house.
Yeah.
They've done it before.
Yeah.
Did we speak about it, the way children's services were going on about it?
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was just so much to cover. That's why.
Yeah. So much to cover, yeah. But right. So then after Travelodge now,
I think it got to the point because they purposely tried to make me run out of savings.
Yeah.
That's
Allegedly.
what, yeah, that's when we started putting pressure on them to house me somewhere.
Yeah.
And we usually email them, but at this point, we were kind of forced to call them, the council,
Yeah.
my housing officer.
Yeah. But let's go even how worse it was. Because okay, you done the Travelodge, but what's crazy about the power of the council is even when you went to Airbnbs, you were being blocked there as well.
Yes.
So you was booking Airbnbs,
Oh,
and
yes.
when you booked Airbnbs, the Airbnbs were having disrepairs as well.
Yeah,
That's what was
ones.
crazy. So you started booking Airbnbs, and the first Airbnb, it had a hole in the bathroom in the air vent as well. So this is what's crazy as well, people. Yeah, the disrepairs were similar to the disrepairs that Naringa was complaining about to the council.
Yeah.
You lot get it. So it's not just random disrepairs, it's very similar. So even stuff about like the hole in the wall, that was an issue with Plus Dane, with the air vents being exposed in Plus Dane house. That was an issue where there was an air vent hole in the wall in the bathroom, the first Plus Dane house that you booked. Do you remember? Where it had the big mirror that they tried to say that you broke.
What are you? Which one?
The Airbnb. Remember where?
Yeah, but you said Plus Dana booked.
No. I said what I mean is the disrepairs was the same. Was the same as what the disrepairs in the Airbnb was similar to the disrepair issues when you was living in a Plus Dane house.
Yeah.
And that you reported to the Liverpool Council about. Do you get it?
Yeah, the Airbnb, the whole vent was falling out.
Yeah, the whole vent falling out. There was no backdoor garden. Do you remember?
Well, there was no gate. There was a garden, but it was just broken
and full of rubbish,
full of trash, full of bin bags, and the gap was in a garden door. There was a massive gap underneath the door as well. Then you could feel all the
draft. And that was one of the complaints that you mentioned to Liverpool Council as well.
Yes.
So it's funny how an Airbnb's got the same type of disrepair.
And it was one of the issues I had when I was privately renting.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. So it's like all the similar disrepairs are following you, whatever apartment that you go to.
Yeah.
Right. So there was there was that. There was
and it also lied that there was a washing machine when there never was.
Yeah.
And that's when I started complaining about it. They offered me to go to some private, washing machine. I don't know how they like.
Yeah, laundrette. Yeah, but we were like, no, because we didn't want them to shrink your clothes by accident.
Yeah, it was just very odd. Even though on the website, on the description said that it had a washing machine.
And what was funny as well is when she was at the Airbnb, all of a sudden, loads of cars started parking outside of the home and slamming the door. It's almost like you were being tracked, isn't it?
Yeah. And that takeaway people as well started messing around with me, like not bringing food and stuff like that.
Yeah. So before everyone's going all crazy about Uber Eats and all this stuff now because of the workers and stuff like that. But we knew about Uber Eats and Just Eat and all these things way before, because if you don't know, these companies work with local authority. These companies actually help the police as well when when there's like people on the run, because obviously if you're on the run you're going to need to order food, aren't you? So these Just Eat, Just Eat, what is it, Uber Eats, Deliveroo, allegedly, like they work with local authority. Do you get what I mean? So all of a sudden when Naringa is ordering food, none of the shops can get the order right. We're not talking about one order, 2 orders, 3 orders. We're talking every order.
It got to the point where I had to go into the shop even then I had to keep correcting them to get the order right.
Yeah, it got to the point where she had to physically go into the shop, buy a cab to get the order right. She had the world record of refunds from PayPal. It got to the point where PayPal started complaining because she was asking for too many refunds. But at the end of the day, it's not her fault if she orders something and the company's refusing, the companies, not one company, the companies are refusing to do the order, but it was on purpose. So it'd be little slick stuff like too much salt on the chips, red salt when you put no salt, ask for chicken nuggets, get a kebab, ask for a kebab, get chicken nuggets, stuff like that.
With McDonald's, there used to be always stuff missing
Yeah.
as well.
Ask for a Fanta, you get Pepsi. Ask for a Pepsi, you get Apple Tango. It was just ridiculous at one point. Yeah, let them walk. So, yeah, so that's what used to happen. And do I think this is connected to the council? 1000% I do. 1000% I do. And because, like I said, takeaways as well are regulated by the council. So this is why I did this podcast in the first place, because I'm trying to teach people just how much reach your local council have and how they can allegedly abuse their power. Right? So, okay, so we've done the takeaway. We've done the first Airbnb. I don't want to talk too much about the second Airbnb just because I want to talk about it when we've got the footage.
The second one, there was a second one.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, because no, what happened? Oh my goodness, that was the second one that I tried to book, and near the time when I was supposed to go there, no one would give me any details. Remember, I was supposed to get like a code, how to get in, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But because I was not getting it, I started messaging the woman like, "Hey, is the property ready?"
Mm-hmm.
And then she started calling me and messaging me back saying that she didn't know that I even booked it.
Yeah, because what Airbnb was doing, allegedly, was like, it was weird. Airbnb started doing this thing where whenever Naringa was trying to book somewhere, her bookings started turning into pending. So normally when you book a booking, you just book it, you pay for it, and then you can... But every booking kept getting delayed. And that's why we think that her bookings were getting sabotaged, because it was almost like every host needed time to apparently fix the place. But every time we got to the place, there was a disrepair issue. So it's almost like they were being instructed to do certain things to the property. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does. But with this property, I did instant booking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but usually, like, you can choose and things like that. But this one, I did instant booking. They instantly booked me. And when I was trying to contact her, they actually tried to say that, "Oh, can't you go to the coffee shop?" And I was like, "No, I can't. Like, I need a booking today." So she said that it would get done by 8 p.m. And all of a sudden, it just got cancelled.
Yeah, and it got to the point where Airbnb... It got to the point where, bear in mind, Naringa has got anxiety. She's homeless, right? It got to the point where she had to make a complaint because loads of hosts kept cancelling on her with no valid reasons. And it's only when you made a complaint, they stopped doing it.
They stopped doing it.
But then that's when, we'll talk about it in the next episode, but that's when then one of the Airbnb hosts then decided to start harassing allegedly an autistic child. Police were made aware of it and did nothing about it.
No.
As usual. You get what I mean?
Because they're aware of us, so they just done everything to...
Yeah, it's almost like they were protecting the Airbnb host. You get what I mean? So, but the reason why I'm going to save that for the next episode is because, like I said, we've got the footage, so we're going to upload it and everything. And then you lot can see for yourself how the Airbnb, basically, to give a little introduction to it, the place had damp and mold in it, allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
And because... Say it again?
Exposed pipes.
Exposed pipes. I mean, it got to the point of like, how is this even on an Airbnb
It
Um,
smelled really bad.
yeah.
And the property, when you actually go into the property, it looked smaller when I actually looked on the pictures. And also, I think I was not the only one that was complaining about the property afterwards when I've seen the reviews as well.
Yeah. And what makes it even more funnier is that instead of Airbnb taking action against the host, they actually protected the host and took action against you and left
Yeah.
you homeless while being aware that there's an autistic child
And
there.
I think after this happened, you know what we realized? Remember, there was by accident, I double booked one property before the one that I'm still trying to get money back.
Yeah.
So I'm still trying to get money back, and we
Yeah.
realized it was one and the same air host.
Yeah.
Do you remember? So basically, I booked a place in October, but they never made me aware that I would need to pay deposit. And I told them that I don't want to pay deposit, and they never gave me even the keys to the property. And I had some issues with them. And I think later on, without realizing by accident, I booked the same company like 2 months later on Airbnb. And they started harassing me because I would say, like, from the first property, they never refunded me the money back, and by accident, I jumped on them again. Like they popped up again.
Yeah, isn't that coincidence how they just ended up?
I don't
I
if
know,
explained properly.
and what it was as well is they were the only ones available.
At the time, yeah, they had like at least 15 properties.
Yeah, but they were the only ones available on your timeline. It's almost like your Airbnb listing was being controlled. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it wasn't like coincidence. It was like they was the only ones available at the time. Like funny that, innit? So what also happened was, and this is where, you know, people need to realize as well, PayPal, you know, they're also in the government's back pocket
Of
because
course.
allegedly, to say that.
Okay, yeah.
I don't want any problems. So because PayPal was made aware that the company didn't even hand over the keys, and PayPal still refused to refund Naringa her money.
Even though I never used the service,
She never used the service.
and I was not aware about the is it called deposit?
Deposit, yeah.
Deposit, sorry.
Yeah.
Deposit until I paid the first minute. I would have thought that if I need to pay deposit, it would be already included in the price.
Yeah, but the point is you didn't use the service. They can't charge you for a service you didn't use.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter about, oh, like it says it on this like it doesn't matter.
And I think the craziest thing is that
and it was like 1,000, how much was it?
It was 1,400, something
Right.
like that. But you know what's the craziest thing? That before that, you booked a place through booking.com.
Yeah.
And you had issues with the host, and they just automatically refunded you the money. But when I booked through booking.com, they never wanted to give me money back.
Yeah, because what I'm saying is, and PayPal know this, right? You have consumer rights, right?
Yes.
So if you don't use a service, you're supposed to get your friggin' money back. But what PayPal decided to do was to ignore your consumer rights, allegedly, yeah, and then tell you about, oh yeah, but if you don't like it, you can go to the financial ombudsman. So they made it so that you have to go through a longer pathway to get your money back.
And you know how ombudsmans are.
Right. No, we're gonna get to that. Yeah. So that's the thing as well. So it's like, but then, so just to clear it all up. So since you was homeless, yeah, you must. If the council's got nothing to do with this or the government, you're just the most unluckiest woman in the world, right? Because since you've been homeless, yeah, you had issues with PayPal, you had issues with Airbnb, you had issues with taxis.
Yes.
Yeah, you had issues with food being delivered to feed your child. Yeah. So that's all these companies in a row that all of a sudden just don't know how to behave around you. And the only connection between all of these companies is they have some kind of business
Or licensing.
or licensing with the local council. So how does that work? You get what I'm saying? The only one that doesn't is, I would say, PayPal. But clearly they've got a good relationship with the government because they do transactions. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, and to be honest, at the moment, like even government do have access. Well, allegedly, they do have access to people's PayPal accounts. Because if you notice, they do when they ask for income, they always ask now about the PayPal balances and stuff. So they do have access to. Well,
Yeah. But
allegedly.
it's crazy how it's crazy how when you're, you know, I call it like the enemy of the state, how the government allegedly can even weaponize you using your using PayPal, right? Because you know that we know they do it with the banks.
Yeah,
right?
Obviously, yeah.
Do it with the banks. I mean, even when you was homeless, your account just randomly got shut down.
I actually forgot about that. Yeah, right.
Yeah, nationwide. Yeah, when they shut down your bank, innit? Shut down your bank. You wasn't able to access some of your funds for like nearly a week.
A week, yeah.
Yeah. While you was homeless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, talk about it. What happened with that one? Why did they what was the valid reason why they closed your account?
Well, it wasn't really valid because I am opting to receive all documents and everything digitally.
Yeah.
And that was the excuse when I started making complaints, that apparently they sent a letter to my mailing address and that I haven't responded. That's why they decided to close my account.
Right.
And then reopen it. I don't think it was closed. It's more like they freeze it. So until I finally contact them.
Yeah, but even when you contacted them, it took their sweet time to open it, no? Or was it straight away?
I think it was like within 48 hours, probably.
Right. So while you're homeless, trying to book,
I think at the time we were trying to look to go to another city.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, while you was homeless, this is the time that Nationwide decides, oh, you need to make sure that this account is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah? It doesn't make any sense because even then you had your accounts sent to, what's the word? You had your account sent to, what's the word? Where was it? Where did you have your account sent to? You had like an address for your bank.
Yes.
Right, yeah. So there's no reason why it shouldn't have closed down.
I don't know. I don't even know what kind of letters. I think it's about some voting thing, but I never voted anyway. And I had the account for so long.
Yeah.
They never froze my account just because I didn't respond to the letters, even though I told them that I want to receive all the letters only by email.
Yeah, 100%. And you was, what's the word? You was listed as you want to be contacted by paperless. So, and you had an app. And you had an app.
I do.
So why didn't they contact you by app? It's almost like they knew what was going on, innit?
They did, yeah. I think because they noticed the change of address.
Yeah.
So they were like testing it, like I don't know, or they knew that it might not get back to me.
Yeah, it's dirty little games like that is what can stress you through the roof. Until
this day, I don't know if they actually sent the letter.
I don't think they did.
I didn't even know because when I went to check for my mail, I was never given the letter. So
just to recap on everything, since you was homeless, you had issues with Nationwide, PayPal, Airbnb, Uber,
hotels,
Uber Eats, Travelodge, your local council because they don't want to do their statutory duty. Anyone else?
Trading standards, children's services,
housing options,
and
home education
being difficult. Yeah.
And what's the law center that's supposed to help people?
Well, I contacted multiple. It was Merseyside Law Centre, Vauxhall Law Centre, even James Murray, all of them.
Yeah, but what's the one that said to you that you can't make a complaint because you're not a client, allegedly?
I'm pretty sure it was Merseyside Law Centre.
Right. Merseyside Law Centre, yeah. So, yeah. I mean, you must be the most unlucky person in the world, isn't it?
Not being able, like, yeah, in addition to all of that, I was not being able to access to legal aid, any legal support, legal advice, nothing.
Yeah. So,
It's okay.
yeah. So on top, yeah. How can we miss that? So while you was homeless and you was trying to get legal advice, let's talk about that because that's
And the
crazy.
fact that I got anxiety, I still was like, you know what? Because it's for my son.
Mhm.
Like, we have to call them. Like, I need to be more flexible than just emails. And they just started treating me even worse and even giving me false information.
Mm-hmm.
They started giving me false information, and when I asked them to email, they took forever to even give me their email address.
Yep. Yep. And when it came to legal aid, what's so crazy about this whole scenario was when you was getting evicted, you should have been offered help from the council, right? You wasn't. You wasn't offered anything, to be honest with you. They're
They
supposed
just
to help you.
ignored me
They
for
just-
like 2 months.
They just ignored you. If you actually got legal help, you might have actually been able to fight your eviction because the grounds that they were evicting you on, you could have.
But there was no grounds. It was no fault eviction. There was not supposed to be any grounds.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, even though it's no fault, you can say that is what they're doing is discriminating against you, right? Because obviously,
Yes, yeah.
yeah. So because Makai is autistic and routine is important for him, right? You could have said, allegedly, this is just what I think from what I know, right? You could have said that because of his need for routine, which was in his doctor's notes, yeah, the fact that you've got anxiety, the amount of stress it could have put you in, that the eviction would cause severe hardship towards you.
But I did something like that. I tried to prove that it was about discrimination, but I lost on the fact that there was, like, how to say, the process details that I wasn't aware of and that I didn't follow up because I didn't have legal support, because there is things that they wanted me to do in specific format, but I didn't know what format because I kept telling them.
Yeah, you're not a solicitor, are you?
Exactly. So I kept trying to explain to them that I've got no legal support, and they just ignored the fact that legal advice, legal support, legal advice, but they just ignored that.
Yeah. So the point was that if you actually got legal advice, which you're supposed to get, you could have challenged it with a judicial review. They knew that.
Yes.
And the council knew that. And that's why, in my opinion, you didn't get any advice because they knew you might win.
Yeah.
Because what they did was allegedly illegal, right? They were discriminating against you, yeah? And they made sure that you didn't get any kind of support to be able to challenge that. Because you could have told them, especially with Makaya, yeah, that what they're doing can cause him to have meltdowns and thing, which it did.
No,
right?
Even what was happening throughout the over a year that I've been with them, the reasonable adjustments that I kept asking for plus Dane that led me to being evicted, they haven't done them. I could have gotten on the fact it's kind of like a revenge eviction. I don't know how to explain because I specifically asked them for reasonable adjustments and they just put me at disadvantage.
Yeah,
for the whole year.
Yeah, so basically, if someone's trying to evict you, but they've discriminated against you, you can fight the eviction because of that. Yes. Allegedly,
but you have to know formalities, how to fight it.
Yeah, but the point is,
you're not reviews and
but you're not supposed to know that. That's you're in a normal legal world, in a non-dictatorship country.
Yeah,
you're supposed to be able to get legal advice. Yeah, so that you can challenge it legally, but you wasn't able to challenge it legally.
No.
And then when you was made homeless, you was then being gaslighted by the council about, oh well, you're homeless because you've been antisocial. No, that's not why you was made homeless. Because if you was made homeless from being antisocial, you wouldn't have been given a Section 21.
Yeah.
So then you was wrongly made intentionally homeless, which then made the process of you getting a permanent home even longer, meaning you had to spend more money on stuff like storage, yeah, because of the councils refusing to do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
The amount of stress that the council can try and put someone under is insane. And then they don't want to apologize for it. They just continue to gaslight you or put you in more dangerous situations.
Yeah, because I've noticed with the courts as well is that sometimes they don't take you seriously if you don't have like representative next to you, or like they know what you're talking about, but they pretend like they're trying to gaslight you, especially if you're on your own and
Yeah.
you don't have like a witness or representative or advocate.
But let's even get into that, because even with legal representative, it's getting to a point where it's even hard to trust legal representative, because you got a solicitor, which was SSL solicitors.
It was for the housing disrepair.
Yeah. And what I will say on that one is that, in my opinion, they allegedly didn't do what they were supposed to do, which is helping you get the repair sorted. And
Exaggerating the situation.
no, not even just exaggerating the
Cutting
situation.
it
Just there were just more delay in doing anything, right? And some of these, it's almost like it's like a whole network. Like even with the solicitors, it's getting to a point where even with the solicitors, there's some that they will help you, but not if you're going against the council, allegedly.
Yeah.
So if you're just suing someone or a business for, you know, anything civil, whatever, they don't, you know, they don't care. That's fine, money for them. But as soon as you start going against like the council, all of a sudden they're all unavailable, too busy, out of capacity, all on annual leave, or they take your case on and then it's almost like they sabotage it, allegedly though. Allegedly sabotage the case to the point where the case either doesn't happen or you get lowballed on the amount that you were supposed to get. And then they gaslight you to make you feel like it was your fault that happened. And I've seen reviews of people complaining about it, that they've gone to the solicitors for stuff against the police, for stuff against the council, and the solicitors didn't follow through. You go all the way to the legal ombudsman, and it's either a slap on the wrist or they don't do anything.
Because I'm not going to lie, I do think I had more winnings with is it called property ombudsman against one organization against urban residential.
It wasn't the council though, was it?
No, but it was for property, which means it's like private housing.
Yeah.
You can get a little bit more out of that than a local. It's called local government and social care ombudsman.
Yeah, but even now, I feel like the ombudsmans are just
any ombudsmans. Yeah, I just meant at the time.
It depends on how. It depends on where you are with your local council. Like if you're just starting off and you're not really on their radar, the ombudsman should help you. But if you're where we are, where we're fully on the council's radar and challenging everything that they do, you're not getting much help from the ombudsman, because in my opinion, even though they like to say that they're non-biased, I think I haven't seen that with the complaints that I've made. I've seen biased judgments being done, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's similar like when IRPC dealing with police complaints.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
The same.
It's getting like, and what a lot of people, and this is the joke thing as well about this whole role play of justice, is that even if you, and this is something people can Google, this is what I found on Google, the bondsmen don't even have legal authority over the councils. The councils choose to listen to the ombudsman, but there's still that loophole that they can choose not to listen to the ombudsman. So what the hell is that?
Yeah, the only thing what they do, they shame them on their websites.
Ooh.
And sometimes some newspapers, websites, they decide to post.
But do they really shame them though? Do they really shame them?
Because they continuously do
Because
it.
when we started looking into Liverpool Council stories and started posting them, all of a sudden, all the other stories disappeared off the website.
And even
Allegedly,
even when I won the suitability review that they failed to carry out, my story was not published on the ombudsman website.
Which they're supposed to do.
Which they're supposed to do, because I've read many stories about all of a sudden it's disappearing, and my story never been published.
Right. So for me, this is just my opinion. I think that the ombudsman just like to. The ombudsman is almost like, you got that saying like good cop, bad cop. You see, like in these movies when they interrogate someone, you get the guy who's the really bad guy, and he comes around and he's trying to get the information out of you, and he's the bad cop. And then you get the guy who's the good cop, trying to pretend to be the suspect's friends to get the information out of you. That's how I see the ombudsman. They just pretend, right, to be the, oh yeah, come to us, we'll look into it. The amount of complaints I've seen rejected by the ombudsman is scary, and the scale of alleged complaints by the people that's making these complaints is scary. And the reason why it's scary is because there's not a lot of people who know about human rights. There's not a lot of people who know about statutory duties, right? Yes. And if you can't, it's getting to a point in the UK where it's easier to win to find a winning lottery ticket than it is finding a solicitor who will actually help you take legal action against your local council. That is ridiculous. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if it's that difficult to get a lawyer, to take legal action against your council, then where does someone go that's getting like a certain amount of harassment? They've got two options in it. They either just take what's being given to them, leave the country, or some of them will just unalive themselves. Because from the stress, some people will go and unalive themselves because of the amount of stress that they're going through. You get what I mean?
There are cases like that.
It shouldn't be the fact that people can't take legal action against your local authority, that it's so difficult to be able to do that, because it's not difficult for local authority to take legal action against us, the people. So why is it so difficult to do a judicial review? It's almost like a maze. It's almost like the option's there, but you're not really supposed to do it.
Yeah, and the taxpayers, when they complaining about where the tax money go, that's where it's going for the councils to use it for the wrong reasons, allegedly.
Have you even? This is going a bit off topic here, but it's still there. This is how things is getting even more scarier now. Have you even seen the new MP? I've seen this on TikTok the other day, or it was today. The MP's new job description, in simple words, it doesn't even mention about helping out citizens in their local thing anymore. Before it used to say like, our MPs, they're supposed to help out with, issues with local constituents, like basically your MP in your area. Yeah. It's not even on the job description anymore, Navinga. It's literally basically MPs can do whatever they feel they need to do. So everyone that starts running to their MP like, oh my God, I'm going to go to my MP and that's going to sort out everything. Good luck.
Yes, I've noticed sometimes when you explain to some people like about the situation and they just tell you to go to your local MP and but it doesn't work like that anymore. Or even to go to complain about NHS or like, the healthcare, you actually have to go to your MP to ask permission to go and make a complaint to the health ombudsman.
Yeah, because again, it's a long road process that they like to make you go through this long ass process so that you get mentally drained and that you never do it again. That's the whole point of it, in my opinion. That's the whole point of it.
To be rejected.
Because everything that we're saying on this podcast, most of it was written to your local MP and talk stuff, and it was ignored. It was. Yeah, no, I'm saying it. It was allegedly, but it was. You wrote a lot of what happened, and your MP the staff there, some of them went on annual leave, some of them, I don't know what happened, but
None
no
of
one was
that's me.
interested. You know what I'm saying? So I remember when I was in my home and my electric was cut out and the gas was cut out, and I vote to my MP.
Which was different because it's in a different area.
I didn't get no help from my MP either.
It's the same.
So
exact
that's
thing.
when I realized, okay, this is all connected. You get what I'm saying? Like the corruption runs deep, where you can run to whoever and they're just gonna do very little or not much. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's, I think we're gonna wrap it up here for this episode. But next episode we're definitely gonna what's the word?
Get the
footage and show videos of the behavior of the Airbnb hosts. And they were aware that there was an autistic child in the property as well.
Multiple times. I don't know if you're allowed to do that. Like,
You're not allowed to do that. It's against their policy.
No, when I meant to say if you're allowed to do it, I still got the messages to show.
Yeah.
Just to expose them, or should I wait till the court case is finished?
Nah, show it, man. Might as well. Like I said, this is not done for malicious communication. This is to raise awareness on how companies and hosts on Airbnb platforms are treating people with disabilities. It's not okay. You get what I mean? So, but yeah, one thing I want to finish up on is,
there you go.
if you do need UK legal support, if you've got issues with your local council, complaints with the NHS services, issues with the police, ignoring crimes, I've been through a lot of that. Issues with social services, maybe you're a tenant and you're making complaints about antisocial behavior and it's being ignored, issues with schools or issues with care home, make sure you contact everydayinjusticeinfo@aol.com and we'll do the best to help you best way possible. And just so you know, you're not getting legal advice, you're getting legal support on these situations. But I can guarantee you'll get some good UK legal support.
Because you've been through every situation possible.
Yeah, so you'll get some good UK legal support on that. So the reason for this podcast is to make people realize that don't give up. Don't let your local authority make you feel alienated isolated from everyone, right? You have to fight your ground. You have to stand your ground, right? Because if you don't stand your ground, you're just going to get taken the mick out of from all the organizations that we've mentioned in this podcast, right? So stay positive, keep your head up, and make sure you share this podcast to as many people as possible, because they're trying to make sure that this podcast doesn't reach a lot of people, but it will, because that's how the truth works. It can only be suppressed for so long. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for coming on, Naringa, as usual. And we'll see you in the next episode.